All right, man. So, how we gonna start this video, man?
Whoop that trick.
Get him.
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 Whoop that trick.
Go. I'ma let these suckers recognize I ain't playing. If you raw, if you gotta go, I done held in a lot of shit, and I'm about to flip. Now I'm trying to show you bitches who you fucking with. DJay, that's the name, and I came to bring up pain, and I on my chest, got you busting that you in the lane. You ain't know, you fucking with a street. From the gutter pimp type / drug dealer. Welcome YouTube to germ-on's Zone. You're here with your host germ-on, and I'm joined today by my co-host
SGR, otherwise known as Savage Gaming Reborn.
Okay, the full name, you know. Don't let it be mistaken. And I'm going to leave a link in the description and on the side so you can contact him whenever you need. When it comes to gaming, this is the guy to come to. All right? And today, we're going to be discussing the 2005 film, Hustle and Flow. All right? And just for starters, how did you feel about this movie when you first saw it?
The ultimate underdog.
Okay.
The first vibes I get. This guy has a hard life. He goes through hell and back. He wants to become something. He wants that dream, and he goes for it. Holds nothing back to get there, and achieves his goal.
Yes, and I did see that. I think when I first saw it, I wanted to see, like, because it was different. Because I was like, a pimp that becomes like a rapper? What?
Yeah, right?
You know, it was something that it was just like, this is new. So let me check it out and figure out. And I enjoyed the movie. But I respect it even more now because I have a better understanding. I was 15 when I first saw it, you know?
Yeah, same age, honestly.
Yeah, you know, it was like, oh. And then now seeing it, it's like I understand the struggles and the things that he went through to overcome that and stuff. And that's what that underdog part of it and stuff is. You really start respecting that as you get older. You like, okay, and you start to see the theme really start to be like this middle age, like middle ageism, where like, what do you do when you feel like you're trapped? How do you try to get yourself out of that? You know, so we really see that with the film. So
yeah, it's kind of like what you talked about to me before we even started the video. Midlife crisis. That's what he went through. He's like, I'm sick of it, all right? I deserve more. And we all feel that way. We all want to become something that we once dreamt we would be.
True.
So you got to push yourself to get there.
Right. You got to start putting in effort, put in the time, and then turn it into something, you know? So that's what we're going to do. So first off, we're going to start with the recap. So when the movie comes on, you know, you see the character DJay. You know, he's sitting in the car, and the car is an important part of the movie.
It is, sadly.
Because anytime they're in the car, that's when they're having a deep conversation. They're having a conversation about, like, their drive and mission and what they want to do in life and stuff, you know. Where are we going and stuff, right? So there's a lot of questions and a lot of philosophies that pop up here in the car.
But if you really think about it, when anyone goes on a car drive, like me, for example, if I'm driving my car and I'm going down the road, that's when I listen to music. I start processing my thoughts. I think about what I'm going to do, and it kind of takes it from there. So it makes sense.
Yeah, it do make sense. It's like, where you, like, because that's your traveling mode. You know what I'm saying? You're in your travel, like, where you going to in your life and stuff.
Yep.
And where you headed. So that's where he goes on this, he talks to his hooker known as Nola, right? Nola's there, and he's just going on about man and dogs, and how there's similarities in them and their differences. You know, as I remember, as they talked about like a man as more in mankind, right?
Yeah.
That he has a full understanding of what's going on around him. You know, he has history. He knows how to plan it out. So he's saying that himself is like mankind because of the pimp and knowing how to hustle people and understanding how it all works. Well, as for Nola, she's more like the dog. as the dog.
That sounds so bad. When you say it that way, it does.
But it's true, though. Like
it is true, yes.
Because when he described a dog, he said a dog don't know what's going on around him. He just goes about his day and stuff, just doing basic stuff, And when he asked her what she wanted to do or where she wants out of her life, she kept saying, I don't know. She don't have any direction. She needs the pimp to move her. And
I remember like that scene, yep.
So, and then you have someone that pulls up, a customer. The trick, The
trick same guy that shows up multiple times. By the way, guys, spoiler alert.
Oh, yeah, spoilers is going to be, it's going to be up in there.
Yeah.
What you about to say?
No, I was just thinking about that scene where, yeah, she jumps out of the car for this guy multiple times. But yes, there's going to be multiple spoilers in this video, just to warn you now. But this is also going to encourage you to watch it, I believe. Oh yeah, definitely. Because when he started describing like the men as basically the nature of men. They gonna piss on things. They gonna chase after women. Yeah, start hiking your leg everywhere.
Yeah, so yeah, it's basically that's what each person represents. So we understand the dynamic of what you're gonna be seeing throughout this whole movie. Yeah. So we see that, and then they immediately go over to Arnell's like bar scene, right? So we see his first hustle is his pimping. Then his second hustle is his drug dealing.
Yep. Because
Arnell is also played by Isaac Hayes. Isaac Hayes, if y'all don't know, a classic musician from actually, and the good thing of it is, since it's taking place in like Memphis, Tennessee, Isaac Hayes from Memphis, Tennessee and stuff, I think he graduated from high school there, and he's known. Soul singer from Memphis, Tennessee, and that's what I do like about that they bring in people from the area. As later they bring in 3 6 Mafia, who's also from Memphis, and we get to see his hustle, what he is like his drive of trying to make it money, trying to survive. But this when Arnold started bringing up this whole situation about Skinny Black, who is played by
big character Ludacris.
Oh yeah.
Big character in the movie.
This is where opportunity first pops up, Isn't
this also the same scene where he comes up, he's like, hey, how much for this? Man, what? Do I look like a pawn shop to you?
Oh, no.
What the hell's wrong with you?
That's gonna come a little bit later.
It's a little bit later,
We'll get to that and stuff like that. But, at this Arnold scene, like, he presents him an opportunity to make some more money. With Skinny Black, he comes back in town. He's gonna come back in town on the 4th of July, so he can celebrate. Have this little celebration and stuff like that. So he gives him an opportunity, and I was like, okay, I see where this first opportunity. Now he doesn't see the opportunity for the stuff that's gonna come later, but for now it's just the hustle. Hustle and flow. The title plays a big part, because you'll start to notice that due to his hustle gets him into his flow. It really does.
That sounded corny, but you're right.
It does, because anytime he's doing something like he's hustling, it brings him over to like the stuff that he wants to do.
Yeah.
So, after that scene happens, then we get to the strip club scene.
Here we go.
Yeah. Now we're introduced to his other girl, his other hooker named Lex, right? And Lex, she's more feisty,
Just a little bit.
Like, he grabbed her up from a client that wanted to get a strip dance and stuff like that. Can't you see I'm on the hustle? And he's like, where you at with the money and stuff, right? So eventually they leave the strip club and they about to head home. This is when like the guy comes up, we don't know, like he's a junkie or something like that.
Okay, and that's when he throws his ass out the door.
Oh yeah, and she's like, hey, what the hell and stuff like that. He's like, hey man, what you gonna do? Rolling up my spot like this, So then he was like, hey, talk to me, DJay, talk to me, So he just started talking to him about like, hey, I can sell you this piano.
Okay, so I did jump ahead there.
Yeah, this when the piano thing come up, and he at first, DJay don't want to listen to it because he was like, you probably stole that shit from some little kid and stuff. He's like, no, I wouldn't do that and stuff like that. I just want, I'm trying to get these drugs. I sell the how much you gonna give me for it? At first, he's gonna give him only a quarter. He's like, man, I can go to the pawn shop. Then go there, take your ass to the pawn shop. Then
Yep.
But eventually, he gives DJay the the piano and stuff for that for some drugs and stuff, right? This when we start seeing the opening of his eyes, like a different side of DJay.
Yeah, that literally is when it opened up everything as far as I'm concerned. Like, all right, I got some beats going. Let me play with this. Hey, maybe I could do it too, just like Skinny.
Yeah, and it was like he was like, ding, 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 playing it and stuff. Here's Lex character, because Lex is gonna play a big part in like the other side of things, where she was like,
yeah,
hey, Stevie Wonder. When you done playing, we hungry,
Oh my god, we hungry.
Yeah.
Reminds me of Too Fast, Too Furious.
Right, exactly.
When Rome's like, we hungry.
So then after that they go back to DJ's spot, and then we see his living conditions. It's not the best. We understand that they're going through struggle. That even all the hustling with the pimping and the selling of their drugs is not really carrying them over. They still struggling and stuff like that because this will be introduced to another one of his girls, Shug.
Which is a very, very big character in my opinion. One of the biggest, and she does a fantastic job in this movie. Oh
yeah, Taraji B. Henson. I've never seen her. She's usually acting more like the Lex character that's so feisty and aggressive, but this one she's more mellowed out. Have more of this motherly figure of the house and stuff. And she's pregnant at this time too, because she got pregnant by one of the tricks that she had slept with. And that's another thing too, that DJay is now out here pimping her. Like, he's not having her out on the there.
He's got a soft spot for that one for sure. You can tell the entire movie.
So you see different aspects of like how he treats each of his girls and stuff like that, and he has the most respect for her and stuff like that, because she's even talking about we got to pay this bill and stuff like that. So she's keeping track of things. So you're showing
she might be the one paying all the bills for all we know the entire time. And DJ's just like, here you go, you take care of it.
Yeah, I think that's what's
in the background. Happening. Yeah,
because later on she talks about how she called. The electric company so they can keep they have an extension and stuff, So she is handling a lot of aspects at the home and stuff, but DJay gets distracted. One Skinny Black pops up on TV. He's like, oh, that's Skinny Black, you know what I'm saying? And this is a big problem because for the whole movie he's saying that he knows Skinny Black, and then he's going to have an opportunity, to, meet him and do things of that nature and stuff, right? Yeah. He tells Lex, and Lex like, I don't care, they ain't got nothing to do with me, So you see that, like, that relationships of all the things that he's, like, doing and stuff and what he's, like, communicating and stuff, And then, with that being said, he doesn't pay attention to the problems of the day. Because she just told him we about to lose stuff. And he just like, opportunity. You know what I'm saying? Opportunity. He was just blinded by it and stuff like that. And that happens throughout the story. When it comes to his later enterprise, he starts to forget about the troubles of the day, that we have to pay these bills. We have to survive to the next day. But he's not worried about that because he's thinking about escaping. And this is the whole escapism is another big theme of this movie, because we see this with other characters. Yeah. I'll mention it once we get to that character and stuff. So, then we get to the thing where he goes to the corner store, right? So Nola over there sitting her fast ass down on a cooler, sucking a lollipop and stuff. I was like, whoa, what's going on here? So he going over there trying to pick up some more drugs from the corner store and stuff, right? And we get to first meet Anthony Anderson's character, Clyde, also a.k.a. Key. Yeah. So
playing that music of the church.
Yeah, he ended up playing the music for the church. This is where that other opportunity and stuff, that flashback to the past of something that he used to do. because he's like, hey, because he picked up Skinny Black's CD and stuff. And that's when Key was like, oh, you still into that and stuff. And at first he's like, who are you and stuff. It's funny thing is, think about this relation, this first meet up here versus when it happens to him and Skinny Black later on in the movie.
Yes, there's a big difference there.
Yeah, it's a whole thing where he's like, oh, you remember me from back then where we you used to mix in the like with high school and stuff like that, and he was like,
it's like I wasn't scratching no records or anything like that.
But. So it was just, and it's funny because this is the funny part where he look at Key, he's like, "What you buying all them batteries for a dildo or something?" I was like, "Dang," but that's how they build that connection up first and stuff like that, and then then eventually DJay asks, "What you do for a living?" So he invites him to the church. Sees that he was doing music and stuff at the church and stuff. Enough where it made DJay cry.
That's because that's what he always wanted to do. He wanted to become someone, stand out, be someone, that's out in the crowd. Like, all right, no, he's not some low life trash pimp, some deadbeat drug dealer. He's someone else. That's his goal the entire time.
Yeah, and it's like. It's like, the thing that was opening his eyes and stuff, which eventually when they get back to the house, that starts to pop up again and stuff, Because, like I said earlier, with like Shug being there and stuff like that, and he's seeing her as that motherly figure, eventually he starts to reveal something about himself that he really doesn't know or has control over his life. As he tried to present at the beginning scene, he came off as, oh, I'm mankind. I know how to plot and plan and move around and stuff like that. But he really started to show that I don't know. I feel lost. Very similar to Nola. That's why he said a dog and man are similar. So he started to show his colors like, I don't really know what I want. And now I'm seeing it now with this music and stuff that Key is really like introducing in his life and stuff,
Yep.
Eventually he goes to eventually he comes to Key's house. Right when Key's at the house.
I remember this scene literally I just watched it. And he shows up with all the women.
Yes.
Of all the things to this guy's house. And the wife's just sitting, the look on his face is just like, what are you doing?
What you doing here?
Why are you bringing them here?
Right. And the thing is, the lead up is, we see the same thing, and Key wants to escape too. He's hearing his wife talk about, oh, we got to do this, and all this stuff happened today. And he's eating dinner. And he's in a better condition financially. He's in a better condition than like DJay, but he's also bored with his life and the stuff that's going on. He's just like, yeah, whatever and stuff like that. So eventually, when he invites him in, and he was like, hey, I want to talk to you about this music I've been working on and stuff, He had a hard time trying to explain it. He was like, hey man, come on, just put the track on and stuff, right? So he tried to spit some rhymes at first while the hookers is talking to his wife.
Yeah. The funniest thing is whenever the wife opens the door and she's like, what are you doing?
Right.
And he's like, oh, wait. Like, hold on a second.
He was like, I don't mean, what I'm saying, but these hoes have to pee and stuff like that. It's like, he's like, dang, But, but you get to see that connection with Key and stuff. And eventually, he starts to escape with the music, with DJay, shake it real fast. Shake it real fast. They just start going on. And then, this wife walk in, he was like, what you doing? Oh, it's nothing, honey.
Yeah, don't you worry about it.
We just, because he did that walking and walking, talking and talk. What you doing? I'm walking. So, and then, then you have this compilation of like scenes of them just getting the materials and stuff to set up for,
Oh, speaking of which, materials. Yeah. Can we talk about this for a second?
What's up?
How'd they soundproof those walls?
I know.
Those are McDonald's cup holders.
Cup holders. He said the poor man.
McDonald's cup holders.
I was thinking about that. I literally thought about that.
Like, I'm not gonna lie, we have both used poster board for a green screen. When I saw that, it just clicked. I'm like, you know what? You do whatever you gotta do to make it work.
For real.
That's all you gotta do.
That's when Keith said, it's the poor man's soundproofing. You know what I'm saying? Whatever works.
Oh, I lost it. When I saw that scene, I was just like, hell yes.
It is so funny because then when they start recording, immediately he looked over at Nola because she sat down like, "Oh, what are we doing today? Hey man, get your ass out!"
Yeah, what you doing in here?
Come on, man. So she trying to find something her way too and stuff, and he finding his. He about to get into it. So we get into the song, and they was like, "Wait, what's going on?" and stuff like that. Because then I think Shelby came over.
If I recall right, it started off a different way.
Yeah.
Quite a big difference.
He white, right?
Oh my god. When they said that, I started busting up laughing, and I'm like, that poor guy.
He didn't know what he was into. So it was so funny that he came in there and stuff like that. I think that's why Nola came in there.
No, but I love Shelby though. He just hangs in there the whole time.
Yeah, he hangs in there the whole time. And they was like, he was like, well, we got to have something for radio play. He's like, what? He's like, you can't say beat that bitch. You know what I'm saying?
That's how the song started, by the way.
Yeah, beat that bitch. And then he's like, oh, we'll stomp that hoe. I'm like, oh man, we gotta we gotta change it up.
By the way, while we're on here, let's go ahead and pause for a second.
Yeah, what's up?
So, to beat that bitch, to stomp that hoe, there's a lot of moments in this movie where DJay is super aggressive.
Oh, yeah.
Like, this guy, he's got some built-up aggression and anger deep inside of him, whether it's because of the life he's lived, or he wants something more, or something's been done to him. Regardless, he lets it out in many moments in this movie, and you're like, damn, dude. Like, you look at it from the outside looking in, but you don't know what's going through his mind at the moment.
It's that stress of that lifestyle and stuff, of not knowing if you're going to make it or not and stuff like that. And then anybody gets in your way, you have to be aggressive and stuff like that. As we seen earlier on, the guy that bumps into him when he went to Arnell's club and stuff, immediately, he was like, hey man, calm down, man. And then he punched him, It's like, dang.
He's got a lot of moments like that. But as we're saying, you don't know what this guy's been through, so
we don't know. It's just like he's went through a lot of stress, and he flips out at a drop of a dime. He just flips out and just goes off and stuff like that. And we see later on, how he flips modes, because there's different modes that he get into and stuff. Yep. It's funny that he brings that up. He's like, I've been getting in the mode, and especially when that compilation when he's getting all the stuff, he's like, I just hear this beat in my head, and I just get in the mode. I was like, that's one of your modes.
But I always refer to that as the blackout moments. So you get to those moments where you black out, and that's a real thing, guys. You don't realize what you're saying or doing until you calm down. You're like, oh shit, I went that far.
Yeah, he just went
that's
that
where
far,
he gets,
and he just flips out. Then we get to the first recording when he gets whooped that trick. Get him, and then they just start going in. And I felt like I was in the studio.
You got the soundboard going. You got the keyboard going. Yeah. You got DJay just going at it. It's one of the best scenes. If you want any kind of movie like this to take off, this is what it is right here.
Yeah. And this is where his confidence come. Like right then and there, it's like, I can really do this.
Yep.
I can really do this and stuff like that. So he's really like bumping that and stuff like that. And it's just like eventually, this is where it's like, now I'm chasing this dream. I'm gonna actually go through with this and stuff. Lex is still on the sides. Whatever. She don't really care about it. Nola, she's interested. She's in and eventually, this is where we gonna get to the part where things start changing. All right. The biggest change, because we have this whole little conflict with Nola, because Nola, remember when they went at another timeout, they was over there, she trying to do the same thing as earlier, trying to pimp her out and stuff, right, to make some more money and stuff, because they got equipment and all the stuff is expensive. So eventually she out there and This another guy rolls by. He tried to pimp her out and stuff. It doesn't work at first and stuff. You know, she asking him like, what do you really do? Like, you know, you just my pimp and stuff. I do most of the work. That's the energy that she was putting out. That I do most of the work, and you just benefit from this. Like what are you and stuff, right? So later on, when Lex does the same thing, she over here snapping like, "Oh, you know nothing but my chauffeur," you know.
Okay.
Get my car, boy. You know.
She drops the disrespect.
Yeah. Calls him a bitch.
Crazy. Like, there's only so much a guy can take being said to his face, and that same thing goes for a female. So I'm not justifying how he treated her. I'm not justifying how she treated him. The point is, this scene is intense.
Oh yeah.
And if you want to carry on what happens afterwards, because I'm a dad, guys. When I saw this part, even though I knew the disrespect was happening on both ends, it hit me because I'm like, I can't believe that poor little baby.
That was the thing, too. It was like the baby, but when she called him a bitch, that's when he went back to his old mode.
But at least at this point, he does calm down. And he's like, instead of hitting her or choking her out, which is what you thought he was going to do, he's like, all right, you know what? We're done.
Yeah.
Just throws her out and
his
ends it.
Right there. Because he was like that. And when she said to him, do something. Do it. Well, basically, she's trying to tell him, you need to be the pimp that you are. That's all you ever going to be. That's when he started to consider, I'm not that no more. We're done. And that's when he left. He just kicks her out.
Which is a really big moment on his character, because you'd expect him to just backhand her or something along those lines. Instead, he's like, all right, you know what? Move on.
It's time for you to go. You want that lifestyle? I don't want that lifestyle. Nobody here. You know, Shug, she crying. I feel sad for her because she crying and what's going on. But it was one of those things where you have to move on when people want to hold you back. You push on and stuff like that because they're not evolving with you as a character and stuff, you know. And the funny thing is too, he's like DJ's eventually start evolving the women around him. If Lex would stay there, he would start evolving her, because we saw what happened to Nola later on. We saw what happened to Shug later on and stuff, you know.
Yep.
Because these are the girls that he cared for, and he asked her like he might have been harder on Nola, but he was trying to find a clear mission for her. Like, you looking for purpose. I found my purpose. I'm just finding my purpose now. I can help you find your purpose eventually, you know, because they had that sit down in the car, you know, eventually, and they was like, you in charge, you know, you in charge and stuff. He was telling Nola that so she can have some more confidence and actually try to find direction in her life.
That carries on throughout the entire movie to the end, by the way.
Oh, it does.
For that.
Yeah, it carries on and stuff like that. It's a powerful scene because it's like, oh, I see what you're doing and stuff like that. You just don't want to just succeed and then leave them behind like oh, I just use you you just a product to me. I just displayed you to the people and stuff and just use you. It's like, no, like, you saying that you don't want to do this no more, yet you have no idea or clue what you want to do, you know? So tell me something. Like, what do you want to do? Are you in charge? You got to be in charge of your own destiny. So when they start showing that, I was like, dang, okay, I'm feeling that.
It really does get deep in multiple scenes.
Yeah. But due to the fact that stuff is falling apart, like Lex leaving, you know, other stuff happening, like bills and stuff still piling up, we have the second recording, you know?
Which is then where they bring in the hook.
Oh, they bring in the hook. The problem is there's a run-ins between DJay and Key because of the whole marriage thing. Because Key, he's been escaping to the music. He ain't really paying attention at home. Very similar to what I was saying with DJay. He ain't really paying attention to all the bills and stuff that's happening and stuff. Same thing with Key was doing because he's going to escape. But then anytime like his wife would call, like Key, DJay mad. Hey man, she coming over calling and stuff to mess me up with my zone and stuff, you know?
So, but to be fair, his wife comes to support brings the sandwiches, checks on them, and then it's like, you know what? I'm going to back up what you're doing.
Yeah.
Kudos there to her.
Yeah.
Like, that's the kind of woman you find and you keep around.
Oh, yeah. And it's funny because she and Shug represent the same thing because she did that later in the movie. At this point, just to calm down, because they was literally about to fight in their recording.
Well, speaking of which, bless Shelby, because he's like, can we just smoke a joint? Right, calm down, guys. This little bitty white guy, he's like a fourth of the size of me. He's just jumping between these two guys, and he's like, stop. Yeah, stop, man. What y'all doing?
Then Shug comes in. She's like, I found this lava lamp and stuff. I seen that on a video. It lightens up the mood. And I was like, that's what I'm talking about right there. She lit up the mood right there and stuff. Very similar to Yvette, what she does later on when she brings the sandwiches and stuff like that. She lifts the mood up and stuff like that. That's why I was like, that's like his girl. That's like his wife right there. That's DJ's wife, where Yvette is like Key's wife. And it's like, okay, I respect this and stuff like that. That they're showing this, like this dynamic when this tension, these two men when they start going at it and stuff like that about direction, they're able to be calmed down by this woman that would come in and just like get them back in focus and stuff like that, lighten up the mood. You know, that's why I thought the lamp was like that's genius and stuff because they use the lamp as like let's lighten up the mood, let's change the where it's going and stuff. You know, and it works out for that. Here we go with Nola again. All right? Yep. We get to the instrument store. We there? And the guy he's talking about, it costs like $200 and something. Now, $200 don't sound much to me like nowadays.
No, absolutely not.
But for them, since they're struggling, it does. So
that's true.
He decides, hey, Nola, why don't you show him a good time and stuff like that so I can get this mic. You know, she doesn't appreciate that. You know, so she gets the mic and she's like, I'm not a person that should be used just for anything. You know, this ain't for money. This is just for, this ain't for the pimp game. This is for your own career. And she threw the mic at him. She mad and stuff. And then that's when he asked the question again. Because she's like, I don't want to do this no more, Then what do you want to do, What do you want to do? And that's the big question that pops up, And this is what I like about it. That same question keeps on popping. Like, what do you want to do?
And she never can answer it.
She never could answer.
Yep.
But these go on because you could tell at that moment she's done with that manipulation part. Because she said, you can't keep talking to me. Like, sometimes my mind need to be messed with. Now is not the time. This ain't enough no more. Like, this, I'm sick of, like, all the lies that you try to tell me that what we gonna be, what we gonna become, and none of it happens. You benefiting, you were moving up, and I'm left behind. Which later on transitions to Shug. Then Shug's character, where DJay is about to go to meet Skinny Black.
Yeah, fun moment there.
But that's when Shug started she buys him a DJay chain. And it's like, put this on. I think, I saw another thing of lightening the mode.
That's also whenever, around this time, is when she starts becoming the hook. And she starts singing the chorus for the song.
When she did the hook for the song, that's another thing of where he gave her a chance.
And that's what made the song, honestly. Without that chorus playing, it wouldn't be anywhere near as good. And that's what everyone was saying in the movie. And honestly, as a viewer, I agree.
That is true. It's like without her being on there, that's what I'm saying. Throughout this movie, Shug was very important. She's the most valuable player because she changed the vibe of everything. She was there to help them out. She gave them help on the music too and stuff like that.
Yeah, because there was a moment where she starts singing and everyone's like, all right, somewhat impressed. And then DJay grabs her arm and everyone's got that shocked look on their face like he's going to do something. Instead, he's like, come on, girl, bring it out.
Yeah.
And then she really brings out, everyone was like shocked, like, wow, that sounded good.
Yeah, she pushed it out, and I was like, okay, yeah. And they had some vibe. And it's this back and forth thing because, like, these people who have low self-esteem, they rise up, when someone gives them that, that confidence. Some people need, and same thing with a DJ. Arnell was the first person to give that confidence. You're on your way. You on your way. You know, when he was giving them that and stuff, everybody needed that positive reinforcement to go somewhere, and that's what started to happen in the movie. So, but the fact that Shug was there, that led him to be like, she really cares for me. So he goes back, gives her a passionate kiss to show her like, I care for you too. You know, I really care for you because you've been there for me. You've been riding with me this whole time. And you asked for nothing special and stuff. You've been there. So, because she was so just appreciating the fact that you gave me a chance to be something that I never thought I could be and stuff like that, you know?
Yeah.
So, we're just adding her to the track. So, it was like, okay, I see this and stuff, how much he's benefiting. Now, Nola, she's still on the need progress and stuff, and we going to see that later. So, he goes to Arnell's club, you know, ready to meet Skinny Black, Ludacris.
Here we go.
Here's the thing, super disrespectful. At first, he was like, hey, don't I know you from somewhere? That's what Skinny Black says. So DJay just happy at first, not knowing that it's somebody behind him, an old friend that comes up, bumps into him, you know, and you know he feels disrespected, so he almost jumps into that mode. Yeah. And he was like, you know, calm down. Arnell was like, let me introduce you to him. He's nervous. Very similar to how the girls is nervous to do certain things. He's nervous this time because he's not in the area where he has control. He lost that control because it's like, this is something I don't know. So eventually they go over. You know, he's like, hey, I want you to meet my man DJay and stuff. I don't know this cat. You know what I'm saying? Who is this? So, you know, it's like, it's very disrespectful, like just like pushing him off the side like he ain't nothing, right? So Arnell had to inform him, hey, this is the guy that has the drugs, you know what I'm saying, that she was looking for. Like,
that's also when he brings up, he's like, all right, why is it every time I come here I get this dirty ass weed?
That is true.
That's another insult towards DJay.
Yeah. It's like to the whole city, because he even said this. He said, I try to leave Memphis behind me in my back room with my rear view mirror. Yeah. Where it's behind me and stuff like that. I ain't trying to look back at things and stuff. So when the disrespect started to go on, this is when you see DJay. He leans forward. He start thinking. And when he pull out the cigarette, he's going back into his mode of being the pimp. I gotta manipulate this fool. Yeah. You know, you're not gonna listen to me. I'm trying to show you mercy and trying to show you a proper way. But since you're gonna be like that, what happened to you, man? You know, we miss you and stuff like that. We miss your first tapes and stuff. He's like, man, I don't know you like that. But then as you start to break it down, Skinny started listening to him. He's like, yeah, okay, you have memories of this? And he's like, yeah, man, I got your first tape.
That's when he slides that first tape over. Yeah. He's like, I don't even got one of these anymore.
Exactly. So he able to get into his mind for the moment. So for the rest of the night, they just talking. You see, like, some of the, like, his friends over there mean mugging DJay and stuff like that. He's like, hey, I'm supposed to be having attention. You know, so eventually, you know, he's like, you know, hey, Skinny, I do music too. Let me slide this over to you. Tape. He's like, man,
yeah, but it was exactly. Yeah, man, disrespect. He's like, man, I don't got a cassette tape player. I ain't got none of that. Like, all right, well, you know, just give it a listen. You know, right. Give me a chance.
Just give me a chance. And eventually, Skinny, he stood up. He's like, you know what? Everybody gotta have a dream. You know, I gotta take a piss. Right? It's weird that he said it like that.
Oh boy, here we go.
So he goes to the bathroom. He's, you know, DJay, you know, grabbing his coat because he's about to leave for the night and stuff. You know, 4th of July celebration happening everywhere. So he's like, hey, thank you, Arnell. You really looked out for me for this and stuff. He's like, hey. That's when he was like, you on your way, man. You on your way. I appreciate everything that you did. So he goes to the bathroom. DJay just to piss. So before he leaves, he sees Ludacris on the ground. Oh, I'm saying Ludacris. Basically, Skinny Black on the ground. He passed out. You know, he's like, yo, he's just mumbling and stuff. I don't give a fuck about what you talking about. What? Talking to me about this stuff. So he basically coming off what he really thinks about DJay. So DJay was like, hey man, let me help you out and stuff like that. I want to help you and stuff. Just trying to live. He's like, hey yo, I ain't getting nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna just zip you up real quick because you just down.
Yep.
And then he looks over and sees his tape in the toilet.
Urinal, right?
Yeah.
Or toilet, urinal, one of the two.
Breaks him. He just lets loose of Skinny. He falls down. He just drunk and out of it, you know? And he picks it up. He picks it up, the pissy water. You know
what? You gonna piss it on my YouTube videos. I'm gonna pick that DVD up too.
Oh, he picks it up. He's like, Skinny, tell me this dropped out of your pocket. And he inspired. He look, hey, Skinny, hey, bitch, tell me this shit fell out of your pocket. You know? He's like, you know what you can do. And what can I do, man? Suck my dick, bitch. You're sucking on your dick. Suck on this. He shoves that tape in his mouth. Just start beating him.
That got intense.
I was like, dang. When he shoved the tape in his mouth and then hit him with it, with a punch, I was like, yo.
That's the blackout moment. So
yeah.
You want to disrespect me to that level? I'm going to make you choke on this.
Yes. Yes. And then once he blood on his hand and everything, he asked him, is this what you want? Is this you? And it's very remind me of what he had with Lex. Like, is this the shit that you want? You know, you want me to be this aggressive pimp, this street dude out here and stuff. And that plays into the music. The first song, "Whoop That Trick," plays perfect for this part.
Yeah.
That "Keep Hustling" thing, it was more calmer. Keep hustling, it ain't over for me. More of, I'm trying to transition into something else, you know? So that's what he wanted to be. But these people, how they treated him, he had to get back to that whoop that trick mode. So he beat him. Next thing you know, one of his friend, Skinny Black's friends come in.
This is where he fucks up, though. Yes. Honestly, this is exactly where DJay should have just kept his cool.
Definitely.
To be fair, though, 100% on DJ's side here, if he didn't shoot, he would have got shot.
Yes.
Which is why I'm against guns. I think you should just fight with your fist. But anyway, yes, unfortunately, both of them pull a gun. DJay shoots first, and he throws everything away.
And it was actually Skinny gun. See, Skinny tried to pull the gun out. He took Skinny's gun away from him and kept beating him, punching him. And then when the guy came in, he reached for the gun, and that's when DJay pulled the gun out and shot him. And
technically, it was self-defense.
It was self-defense.
It really was.
Because he knew what was about to happen. Yeah. Because then he grabbed the guy, used him as a shield and stuff as he shot his way out and stuff. He shot his way out.
But he also threw everything away right there.
Yes. It was basically over for him and stuff because really, Skinny pushed him to becoming that type of person again.
That's true.
So he ended up becoming that. He got home, trying to, see everybody, but the police is already there. The police are there, Skinny Black's boys are there too. They just waiting for him to get out. So, he just saying, he's like, they roughing him up, trying to, lock him up and stuff like that. And he's like trying to say, hey, Shug, just go in the house and stuff like that. You pregnant and stuff. I don't want you out here and stuff, And then these guys come up and just sneaks him. And I was like, yo, where the police at? Where the police at?
Oh, they don't care. They're like, we're out of this.
Yeah, So, look, he ran over and did more stuff. He ran over and grabbed somebody's head, started hitting them and stuff. I was like, dang, he doing more stuff than the police.
Yep.
So, eventually, they taking him away, and he looks over at Nola and says, like,
you're the boss now.
You're the boss now.
No, you got this.
You in charge. Remember, you in charge. Basically giving her, kind of like, you're the manager. You can handle this and stuff like that. She starts to say, I'm in charge, I'm in charge, so.
The whole goal why he's going away, by the way, is to get that on radio, get into a CD, get that out there, show the world my music.
Yes.
As he's being carried away and shoved in the cop car.
Yeah, and he goes to jail. They have him locked up. He gets I don't know how long he's been there since then, but he gets 11 months. Right, we know that he's in there for 11.
That's a pretty good sentence, by the way, for shooting. I'm just throwing that out there.
Yeah, for shooting and stuff like that. A well-known person that's out there, and then Key comes up there to visit him. And he starts telling him, like, okay, Shug had her baby. This how she's doing well. And then I've been helping her out with, like, paying some of the bills there and stuff, you know. And Nola been stepping up. She found her mode. She found something that she want to do. This manager thing, she reaching out to studios, trying to get, like, listen on the radio. And she even used his saying at the beginning with the whole mankind and the man and men's whole situation. She used that whole thing. The thing is, she becomes that because she been used against her and stuff. She's like, I'm gonna use that same thing to promote it, and it works. Gets his music on the station. Now people hearing it, you know.
Yep.
So that happens, and you know he just telling them the whole thing. He's like, hey man, we going somewhere with this and stuff. So they have a good like send off and stuff. So once, like, I almost called him Terrence Howard, even though that's the actor, you know. DJay, once DJay started walking back to his cell, these guards stop him. Hey man, hey, you the man that did the whoop that trick, right? Yeah, that's him. He's like, yeah, that's me and stuff like that. Hey, they do the same thing that DJay did. Gave him a tape. It was like, hey, maybe you can help us out with that, you know. And he said, everybody got to have a dream, right? And takes the tape and walks off.
But at the same moment during this scene, we're going to piggyback on what you're saying. But at the same moment during this scene, you see all the characters singing, whoop that trick. Whether it's to the baby or every one of them. You see people in the grocery store. Everyone's just like rapping along with the song, beating out. And it just has this powerful moment, which leads into what you're saying. So what do you think he's going to do after he received that tape?
And that's what the whole thing about it. Like, I was like, I know he went off smiling, but then he kind of straightened his face up. I don't know if he, like, it'd be crazy. I don't see him doing the same thing that Skinny did, where, like, he'll piss on their stuff. I think he might help them out, but that whole thing, everybody has to have a dream, is very similar to what Skinny said.
My thing is, okay, so maybe he's thinking in his head, you know how hard I had to fight, you know what I had to go through to get my dream? Why should I give you yours? But at the same time, I like to think, like you said, he's not like Skinny. He's like, you know what? I'm not going to be like that guy. Mm-hmm. I'm going to be something more, and I will actually do what he said he was going to do for me. Right. But we don't know, because it's a cliffhanger.
It's a cliffhanger. That's what the whole thing, that's what my whole question was like, what's going to happen to DJay after this and stuff like that? Is he going to go off to be a superstar performer and stuff, or you know, is he? I don't see him going back to his old ways. I don't see him going back because opportunity is there now. People have got out of jail and continue on with their music careers and stuff, and I can see that with DJay and stuff. Nola is not in the same position. She ain't going back to that. She gonna become a manager and stuff like that. I see Shug is gonna be his girl and stuff. She gonna have his back. She gonna be have DJay's back. Key, he's down. Because he's not going back. He want to escape. Loyal. He's loyal.
Shelby will come back.
Oh, Shelby, yeah, he's down. Because what he had, he wanted to escape too. What he was doing, he even said that when he was talking about his whole thing of being a merchandiser for like all the
oh man,
vending machines.
Don't do that, by the way. That's not fun.
So everybody gonna come back to do that stuff. So they got faith in him and stuff and I think he's gonna evolve to the point that I don't know if he's gonna push their stuff out, but he might give them at least some sort of chance and stuff, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I see, and that is basically the conclusion of Hustle and Flow. Basically, the hustle, like I said, every hustle that he had brought him to the flow because. You know, if he wasn't selling drugs, he wouldn't have got that piano at first. You know?
It all happened for a reason.
He
had to go through a lot of bumpy moments. Unfortunately, some worse than others.
Oh, yeah.
But he got what he wanted in the end. Now, he should have made better decisions and thought a little bit more rationally.
Yeah.
But at the same time, emotions take over sometimes.
Yeah, because I would say, I understand that he thought Skinny's reputation would help him promote his career to the heights, but I think it would have been better if he would have tried to have Nola trying to do that same thing before he even did that. He didn't necessarily need Skinny to do that. However, it did, like, you know, having that lore of like, oh, you beat Skinny Black down and stuff. We heard about that, you know, like that plays a part in the narrative. But I think he would have been fine without having that happen. You know, I think he had enough people supporting him. Like if he has a family unit that's supporting him to build him up. So
I agree with that.
So with that being said, what would be your rating for the movie? All right.
Oh man.
So I got a couple of ratings down. So you know.
So what do we got? 1 out of 5, 1 out of 10.
So you know, I say the lowest rating. That's the name of Dusty. That means it's worth a Dusty. Yeah, it ain't worth nothing. You just clean this out, get out of my face and stuff, right? Or you got 2. You got that Copperfield, you know. Okay. Copper, you know what I'm saying? It has some goods, but, you know, mostly the bad's kind of outshined and stuff like that, you know, but it has some goods to it. But you can have that silver ring, you know? You have that silver ring where, you know, it's a good movie, you know what I'm saying? I would say, shoot, even average, you know what I'm saying? Average movie that you know, when you watch and stuff.
Okay.
And then you got this above average, you know, pure gold, right? Now, when you watch it, it's all gold.
I don't think it's pure gold.
You don't think it's pure gold?
I don't think it's pure gold.
Shoot, and I'm telling you one more. Then you have that diamond effect that is just diamond. Like, it's perfect. I wouldn't say that either.
Okay, I didn't know there was a diamond, so I cut in early. I don't think it's pure gold either, because it only relates to certain people. Like, this movie's not for everyone. If we're going to look at it from, like, a critic kind of standpoint, you got to remember, this kind of goes for, like, a certain niche audience.
True.
So, it's definitely not a bad movie. It's definitely not... I got to give it a silver.
You got me silver? Okay.
I feel like that's fair if you want to try something new, or if it's something unique and it's got that setting. Like, people really do live this way, and there's a lot of people out there that are struggling or want to become someone and shoot for their dreams. Check this out and give it a chance. Yeah. That's how I feel.
Yeah, and it's like, it is like the niche audience is like the African American audience and stuff that they
I'm white.
Aiming toward.
I'm white and I like it.
But the thing is,
I'm a white guy.
we like you said earlier, that you still picked up on the lessons that there was being pushed out there and stuff like that. So that's why, like, that's what becomes important in stories, is that no matter what area or time period that you're in, that you can relate due to the lessons that's being taught and stuff. You know, the understanding that, you know, you can have these bumps in the roads with your career and what you're doing and stuff too. I've been there where it's just like, I questioned myself as like, where am I going and stuff like that, and then had to find a way to be like, I need to go this way. I need to find my path and stuff. So that's why I'm gonna have to give it a gold.
Gold?
Like,
okay, so you just one above me.
Yeah,
that's not bad.
Because it's like, watching it again, it had more of an impact because I understood what they was going through, and like the scenes, like that first scene, how it played a part in all the movie and stuff like that, because it played out, you know, of that the man and dogs, how that played out with the character, each character and what they represented, you know.
Okay.
And I was just like, this is a golden film and stuff like that. And yes, I will watch this again. Shoot, you know.
I will say, and we both talked about this earlier today, guys. The soundtrack is incredible. Like, that really makes or breaks this movie in some ways, and it really knocked it out of the park.
That's why.
You make solid points, too. A lot of movies nowadays, you feel like you're watching the same thing over and over. Rinse and repeat. Batman for the 50th time, or whatever the case may be. This is unique and different, and you don't get movies like this very often. If you know what's funny, because of how media is now, and how everyone's snowflakes, I'm sorry, in the world they are, we're not going to get movies like this in theaters. Not anymore. It's just not going to happen.
Nobody's going to take a chance on it, because you have to actually invest money and like time into actually writing.
And they're so worried about the PR statements and everything else that goes along with it, they're too scared to do it. So you're not going to see it in theaters.
Right.
Something like this, I doubt it.
Right.
Even the Fast and Furious movies. Now it's all just Michael Bay explosions. You don't see it like it used to be.
Because this did that's what I'm saying. It's taking a snapshot of certain people's lives that people went through and stuff like that, and that's why I find okay, I'm glad that I got to see this because I haven't seen a Pimp story outside of the old '70s films, Yeah. But it's this was a different because he was actually going through struggles and trying to change his life. That's why I respect this movie. So yeah. But yeah, that's been our review of Hustle and Flow. If you enjoyed this review, go and hit that like and subscribe button, you know what I'm saying? Because this been a thrill. I had fun today, And also check this guy out right here, man. I'm telling you, he got the content when it comes to gaming. All right, check him out. All right, but I'm gonna catch you next time with another edition from Germ-on Zone. Until then, peace.